Okay, let's take a look at this. One thing I would say, sort of strategically, with this is that um, when you're modeling and you add an edge loop, you should adjust that edge loop before you add any more. So, you have all these edge loops along the side, but it's still just sort of a box shape, so those aren't adding anything to the shape. Something's gone really wrong with these. And also they're not, everything's kind of at a funny angle too. So you should be building along the center line. So let's just work with this one a little bit. So the first thing I would do is actually take out most of the edge loops, because most of these currently aren't adding any detail. Um, and I just did shift right mouse click to delete edge. Yeah, there's a lot of um, let's just, oh, the other thing is when you turn in your assignment, you need to do archive scene, file, archive scene, and then it creates a zip file. It shows you where it puts it right here, and then you turn in that zip file, and then that way, for example, I'd have your uh, your image planes. The thing about this is, I know it's different from the lesson, but at the same time, you could still apply most of the same stuff for this whole shape. The fundamental building blocks aren't any different from doing the sweater in the lesson. Um, so anyway, I still think you could really apply that stuff. So I'm just checking my selection here. Um, and I'm just going to make sure this little interface is showing absolute transform 0 in the x direction. Make sure those are all centered. And um, right mouse click object mode, shift right mouse click mirror options, cut geometry as off, combine with original is on, merge border vertices, custom 0.001 mirror. Okay, so now I have that, and take this edge here, Control E, W for move, pull that out, maybe scale this. Oh, here's another edge I can take out for the moment, I think. Always put more back in soon. Okay. Maybe slide this down, shift right mouse click. Oh, didn't like that. Let's try that again. Shift right mouse click, slide edge tool. Something. Yeah. Okay. And then scale this down. Get some of that shape. Could maybe take this one and make that flat, and then start putting in other ones. But the idea is every time you add an edge, you adjust those points. I probably should have had symmetry on. I'll have to mirror it again. But so I've added an edge, I adjust those points. I'm adding an edge, I adjust those points. I never just add an edge and just leave it. Let's mirror it again. The mirror settings are already set, so I'll just do that again. Okay, now let's put on symmetry. W, symmetry, symmetry. So like, you know, oh, why isn't that working? I'm surprised if I just mirrored it. Oh, let me try deleting history, Alt-Shift-D. Just mirrored it. The symmetry should work. No. Very strange. Let's try one more time. Just can't imagine why not. No. Off. On. So, symmetry's not working. Usually that means the thing's not symmetrical, but I'm sure it is. Anyway, you can also just do one side and then mirror it again afterwards. That's fine. So I might kind of move these in some. And oh, look. Now it's trying to do symmetry and failing. Turn it off. Just, scooting these in to just kind of round out the shape here. Probably going to want one. I'm just holding on Control and Shift with the multi-cut tool. Probably one along there. And Control Shift X. And then again Control and Shift to snap it. To get it right in the center. And then again, now that you've added a bunch of detail, you've got to adjust it. So I might take these and these and these and these, scale them this way to kind of start rounding out the arm shape, and then maybe you need to scale that up again a little bit, and then maybe we want to pull up the shoulder. Anyway, so here's the deal. I don't know. I don't have the image plane, so I can't really do a great job of modeling this now, anyways. And I don't know if it makes sense for me to just model the whole thing. But I probably would get rid of the bottom here and the neck hole. And then take this and then circularize that and try to twist that to make that straight again. Maybe move that up a little bit, maybe scale it in a bit. And then just again I'll re-mirror it and then make sure these are all centered. W for move, 0 in the X direction, enter, object, shift right mouse click, mirror. I already have the settings done. Okay. Just because when you put that in, it doesn't, maybe move this down, move that up. This is pretty far out right now. Scale those together, move those down a little bit. Anyway, it's got a really long ways to go, but hopefully this was at least a little helpful. What I was going to say is that at this point in the course, you are behind. So, if you want to continue with this character, you really need to push to catch up. And, I can help more, especially if you send an archive scene. So I have it with the image planes in there. But this right now, like this and these things, they're really a mess. There's all kinds of weird stuff going on. It's not straight. It's not centered. So I think, really you could start over. But you can follow the module. I think build build the body, just like the sweater is built for the most part. I mean, you don't put in the cuffs and the collar, but the same fundamental structure. Build the legs, including the kind of underwear, again, with the same steps. It's really not that different. Um, and then add the detail that shows where the underwear is, and then you can connect the hands and all that stuff. But I think you can use the tutorials rather than just trying to wing it, which is, I think, part of why you're struggling. But you're also not working along the center line and symmetrically and all that kind of stuff. There's just a lot of weird edges in here. All right, but what I was going to say was, um, if you can't get this done quickly and well, then I can give you a character to use for the rest of the class instead, the example character that's shown in the lesson. But you just have to let me know that you like it, and I'll send it to you. Um, because you're falling behind, and I don't want you to fall irreparably behind. So it's totally fine because then you can do the rest of the assignments, um, and move forward along with the rest of the class. But right now, what you have so far isn't working, so you'd have to redo this. Um, and again, I can help more, but you mostly could follow the videos. Like, try to just build the basic structure based on the videos, and then kind of, start adding detail and shape to that matches your character. If you want to continue with this, but otherwise, if you just want me to send you the character to use, I can do that.